I've said that,
You said that multiple times.
multiple times, right?
Yeah.
I said, listen, somebody got to step up and you got to speak the truth and you got to try to save the community. But the problem with that is, and I'll keep saying it the way I say it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to sound insensitive,
Right.
but you're going to get your head blown off. You know what I mean? The if you wanna just go, through life and just like turn a blind eye to everything and let's not, just don't stand for anything or whatever, you're gonna live a long life. You're gonna live a long life. Also, might I add, if you're gonna do the wrong thing, a lot of times those people live a long life. You know? But when you're on the side of good, and you're always trying to like speak up about things,
Right.
there's gonna be a target on you. You know what I'm saying? Some type of target on you, and people want you to shut up.
True.
And one thing I take it back to anytime I get enlightened or something, I try not to stick on it because you can't. I don't want to be one of them dudes like, oh, you read one book, now you all like super militant. You know what I'm saying? Or you think you know something. Like if people are like that, but I'm not gonna shy away from like, yes, I've read one book. Like not too long ago.
That one book.
Yeah, I read. Yeah, not too long ago, I read a book and it touched me, and now I'm thinking a different way. You know what I'm saying? So that brings me to this this Nipsey thing, man. Like I wanna.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think it was better or worse the fact that he was shot like in his own hood?
Better or worse? Like what? Meaning what? Like better for who? Better for worse? What?
I mean, I'm trying to think. It was.
That's kind of what I'm trying to.
It was clips type. I reside in VA, ride in VA. Yeah, most likely when I die. Yeah.
It's gonna be in VA.
Yeah. So I mean.
It's inevitable. Some things are like inevitable. You know what I mean? And I mean unavoidable. Now this was totally avoidable, right? This brother's death was totally avoidable. All he had to do was do the wrong thing. If he just did the wrong thing, he would be okay. And did wrong by your neighborhood, you'll be okay. You dip. You don't come back. You don't do nothing. You don't give, books to the kids, or you don't, open up no healthy, lifestyle, places, or provide anything like that. It's, you live long, man. You live long.
Yeah, that seems like the common thread in media. As long as you're doing bad and you're giving out
You have a
bad
platform.
vibes, you always get a platform. But the minute you try to do something good for the community or for the next man,
They
shut it down.
They're gonna take away that platform. So then the next thing is, if you build your own platform, now you're not just you're a target. You know what I'm saying? You're a target now. Now they're gonna do things to kind of like take you down. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I've always like. Okay, number one, I read the Willie Lynch letters, right? This thing I've been hearing about it like forever, and I'm thinking it's like some long, like some big giant book or something like that, or it's some whatever. This thing is like 2 pages long. You know what I mean? It's like 4 pages, right? The information in this damn book will put, it puts everything into light. You know what I mean? One thing they say is, when you see somebody who's like going against, whatever you're trying to do,
right.
You take that one. You take the biggest one, the loud, the one that's causing the most. You bring them to the square where everyone can see him, and you totally destroy him. You know what I'm saying? In a way that's so brutal, right? That no one else would dare step up and take his place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That whenever that was made, right? They used to use this. I guess they use these tactics to, as far as slavery goes. You got one slave, a runaway. If he runs away,
Yeah.
you bring him back. You chop off his this. You do,
You use that as an example for anyone else who's
you get the strongest one, right? You get the strongest one. They said ties each of his arms and each of his legs to 4 horses. And then bang, you let them rip it, and you let them rip them in half, right? And you know what, psychologically, they're like, you know what that's going to do to the people? So no one's going to want to buck up anymore, and everyone's going to want to be, go along with the program. I feel like that's exactly what happened with, not with, I don't want to say like that's what happened with Nipsey, right? Hussle, because, it brings in the, conspiracy theorists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, now it's like, oh, but who? Because, if you want, you really have to bring it back to like, we're sick. We're sick as a people. So I said, the first thing I said, when people say like, oh, the government killed Nipsey, like, I can totally go along with that. Now, it doesn't have to mean that they sent in a spy and they like, they got his phone tapped and they whatever. But the environment that we come from is, just say, a project. It's a project. That's why they called it projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to go into my he read one book again bag, right? But it is what it is. Like, that's a project. They put it together. That's why it's called that. And you have these people, and you put them all together and kind of like see what happens. And this
Can I ask a question though?
Please.
Yeah. Why everything got to be a conspiracy theory though?
That's what I said.
The fact of the matter is, these things are happening right in front of our face. So how could it be a conspiracy?
Well, I mean, conspiracy, I guess, from the word.
I mean, the man got shot. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman that shot him was an informant. It says on paper. That's real. I mean.
So.
And then as we get deeper, if you look on the camera, they say that there's a gentleman, white guy.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even call him a gentleman. We're gonna call him for what it is. A spade is a spade.
Mm-hmm.
A white guy who was colluding with this gentleman on camera. Although that we don't have a lot of visuals on it, but we do have some visuals that show that there was a white man that was colluding with the guy who killed Nipsey. And, that's not a conspiracy. These are things that we're seeing.
See, I haven't.
Didn't know all that, right?
See, me neither. And that's what I was trying to say. That's basically what I'm trying to say about the conspiracy. I don't want it to go over people's heads like we're trying to make up these stories or dig too deep into it. Like you just gave, you said those as facts. Now I haven't really seen that, so I can't like allege to knowing that. But in my mind, what I mean is I could say, number one, I could say, anyone that comes, the way our environment is built in the urban areas, we're put up against each other. That's point blank. There's no other community like that's really, we're put so much against each other. It's like, you want to get mad at the say like the haters. You be like, oh, it's a hater. A hater just came and did this. But where does a hater come from? Like, it gotta come from, so like we don't come out the womb like, yo, with that hater mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's something that has to be cultivated over time. You know what I'm saying? And not just time, it's by your predicament. The things that you go through, what you're in, your financial is, and a lot of it is a financial thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, on that note, that's what people get mad because they try to say like, oh, we're not talking about the real problem, and the real problem is so-called.
It's in our face.
But they try to say it. They try to say
right
it.
there in our face, and it's like everything's got to be a conspiracy, or we got to backtrack and check facts when facts are right there. I mean,
And I mean, you know, so
I don't want to be in a position anymore where our people are collectively always beating around the bush with things. You call a spade a spade.
so that goes back to my original thought for this whole thing is who do you believe? Who do you believe nowadays? Because stories and information come from all these different sources, all these different people. You don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know what to believe. So I think first what you got to do is we got to start being, it's hard to listen to yourself because you have so many things, so many people in your ear.
Right.
So many people in your ear all day, so many things visually in your face. But sometimes you have to like shut all that down and think, what do you think? Like, what do you really think? Not what do you think other people think, or what do you think should be said or whatever. You got to go on, like, what do you think?
Well,
You know what I mean?
I have a few people that I reference. Well, a couple people I'll say, and that's Tariq Nasheed and David Banner. Those are the two gentlemen that I refer to when I want to get the truth. If I want real news, those are the two that I go to.
Now, go ahead. Yvette.
Before we continue, I would love to hear a little bit more about your guest, Jay.
Well, that's why I'm starting her off like a little slow. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, can I just ask her to take a few minutes just to kind of tell the audience your name again and who you are and yeah, uninterrupted. There you go.
All right, this is DJay Can You Do This, aka Kenya. That's my real name, and I'm born and raised in the Boston area, and
You can say Roxbury if you want.
yep,
It's cool.
I'm from the
We're
Bury, and I'm just collectively for my people all day and night. And I'm currently looking to try to push a digital magazine that educates, informs, and entertains the collective people. And hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of positive over the negative through platforms that I'm setting up. I'm going to also give you the truth, and some of it is going to hurt. So, I hope you take it for what it is and try to do something positive with it.
So unfortunately, I have to leave because we have another gig over in Central Square. But in the last, let's say in the last 3 months, what are some of the positive solutions that you've seen?
There are some things I'm sure that are happening in Boston. I like to say Roxbury is progressing. The question is whether or not the collective 26,000 of us are going to still be there.
Yes. So within that, what about the 10,000 faces where we have, I think the Nation of Islam was working with local men in the area, and they've got out and they're doing the walks, and they're really trying to collectively bring men together before they ask the women to be part of this. Have you seen that or?
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Okay then, so I'll definitely, have you?
I haven't.
Yeah, so that's going on. I'm gonna say Boston because I don't know if it's Dorchester or Roxbury or where, but yeah, they're looking for 10,000 men to get together to make sure that they start walking the streets. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen, and then I've seen where I've been hearing more where individuals are talking about gentrification, right? So that is what's going on. And so what are those tools that we are trying to provide to the residents of that area to say, don't sell out, don't sell your home right now, because you may sell it for $100,000, they're gonna buy it, and then they're gonna put it up for resale at $500,000. Have you heard of programs that are helping people like that become aware?
Not so much in the Boston area, but I know.
But we did have we just had that conversation on the way in here in the car, and I told her to hold it until we get in here because she brought up that same exact point. Because if you look around Boston, you see a lot of construction going on.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of building and stuff, but then I keep seeing it doesn't seem like it's for us. You know, like not to say it. When I say us, I mean the residents that are already in this place.
Exactly.
She pointed out that there's a billboard. Can you tell them about the billboard? And they had like a couple.
The building.
Yeah, and you saw.
Yeah,
you saw a
there's
picture.
talks of a 25-story building that's going up in Roxbury, and nobody knows about it. There's 26,000 of us deep, and there's hardly anyone that knows of this.
And by 26,000, she said that's 26,000
Collective black people
that are registered, not
under
counting
the
the people
census.
That actually.
who actually are there that don't register, that have to do things under that don't actually come out and participate. So that number could be even bigger.
Yeah,
and she
we're
said
looking at anywhere from 30 to 35,000 deep.
So when we I hate that I'm have to leave this, you have to come back. But in the big picture, when you start talking about this conspiracy theory, little bits of things like this happen because these things are happening. These talks, times, and everything else are made available to the individuals, to the people, but yet we're not hearing about it. It's not there on our radar because meeting times happen at a time when we're trying to take care of our family.
Did I just say? We just had this same conversation.
That's right. So,
they have these secret meetings.
Well,
between,
I'm not going to say that they're
not
secret
secret.
meetings. All that information is posted, but we're not working.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
They're having these meetings, but they're having these meetings during a time where working class people are working.
Exactly.
And that's not going to be effective for people who have to struggle every day to work. They have to put them in hours where people who are working class make those hours available to those people.
So what happens is that some kind of way there's enough people that are not working the regular hours that we have to find a way for them to be able to go in to these government offices and get the bylaws, get the information related to these different things that are happening in the community and find ways to distribute that. And I think the youth are a great way to distribute that information to send it upwards because the parents don't have time because they're trying to take care of the family, are working, but these kids.
That's a good idea. Like I've never thought about it that way, but you're right about that. You would have to. I never thought about. I'm always thinking from the adults down to the youth, but you just made a good point. Like it should be. It might have to be the youth up to the adults because like I said. They're not secret meetings, but they're last. Okay, all this information is made public, right? But what they do is they make it as hard as possible for you to access it and to move on it.
Okay.
So they'll make these meetings between it's like 12 and 2 on a Tuesday.
So what do we do? So then we have to understand that that's what they're doing, and then we have to understand and say at least find 2 or 3 people that can attend those meetings, and then you distribute that information out. We can't let them scheduling meetings at times that is undoable or not convenient for the majority, because there are enough people that are able to at least go and share this in distributing this information.
And this is the thing. Just in a blanket statement, right? If they wanted, people are always saying, go vote, this and that, your local elections, your big elections and stuff, but because that's your right as an American, you know what I mean? If they wanted you to vote, then election day would be a holiday. So we have all these other holidays. They'll make a holiday for Christopher Columbus and just all these weirdos that you know don't even deserve, these things, right? But like the most important thing of how we choose our leadership and whatever, they won't make that day a holiday.
So here it's about knowing what are your rights, because if you are at work, I don't know if it's within all companies, but you should be given a time off to go vote. So
And that's
Yeah.
corny to me. Let me just say that's corny to me. To me, that's mad corny because just like I said, you give a whole day for any other silly reason. They'll put a holiday on the books out of nowhere, right? And they'll have a state holiday, federal holiday, or any silly reason, but to go
Marathon
vote.
is a perfect example.
But to go vote, they want to give you time off. Like, like you gotta like go out and put it into your schedule. Like it should just be that's what we're doing for today. Like we wake up and we go down there
I think
and handle it.
China or one of those Asian countries has it that way that's a day off that people.
That shows me that you want people to participate.
So only place I am is okay. We know it. So it's like, so what? So we make sure that on voting day, we're involved with whatever organizations that are going to be able to make it available to provide transportation. Or we make sure that on preceding holidays, we make sure people register to vote early. But we have to play within the game that is in front of us. Forget the obstacles and go around them.
Yeah.
I mean, because
they're
putting it all out there.
No, that's right.
You're
and
right.
You
They
have
don't
to.
want you to.
Yeah, you
they
have to have.
make it convenient.
Yeah, you have to have we gotta really, really get some type of leadership who's gonna speak to it the way it needs to be spoken to. And I'm like not that person. Not at this moment. I'm not that person. Maybe
You are
I
that
could.
person.
Not at this moment because what I would say about that is I don't want to play the game. Like I want to knock the whole table over.
Well,
Boom. Like boom,
but you know
smash.
what?
Like yo, I'm not playing your game. Like I'm not coming out here to do. Because look at why vote, right? The system
What
is
did you
obviously
say?
broken.
Why vote?
Well, the system's obviously
Is
broken.
that what you said?
Yeah.
Why vote?
When the system's obviously broken.
So, can I ask this question? And you don't have to answer it. Do you vote?
Yes.
Okay then. So why vote? Okay.
I wanted to play the game, because I understand what you're saying. Like,
Okay.
you can't complain. You can't complain if you're not
At least
in the
try
game. You
and-
can't be on the
right,
sidelines.
right.
So what I'll do is I'll suit up. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
play the
So
game
now I could go play. But
collectively.
then when I if I go to play the game and I know for a fact before we even start, when the score is 0-0, right? If I know for a fact that we're gonna lose this game every time, after the first few times, what I would suggest is that we play another game. And if y'all don't want to play another game, then I know like you're a sucker because you're trying to play the same game where you know you're gonna win every time. Why would I want to play? Why would the average person want to play a game that they know they're gonna luse?
But see, if we try to play the game as an individual player, then we're not going to win. But okay, I'm going to be out there. Hey, cuz, if we say we're going to play the game collectively, then we make sure that we're putting things together to make sure people are registered to vote. We're putting kids. We're making sure they're aware of their rights, making sure that they are able to talk to these things about their parents. We educate them. So yes, we just have to put
That's a
ourselves
lot.
in
That's a lot of work to do to lose.
But you know what? When we do that, we're not losing, because as we try to share these stories with our young people, now we're educating them about their history.
I take
you
that, but I
talk
think
about-
what we got to do is we got to educate. Why educate them about a broken system?
I said educate them about their history. So the system out there, it was successful for someone. So let's look at that system
It's
and
only
say,
been successful for the oppressed, the people who do the oppressing.
So then you sit back and you say, okay, I'm just saying, don't let them kill what we're trying to do. We have to step around it, and we have to make sure that people are in place, that we have more people playing the game than what they have. That's what we do.
That's not going to happen. No,
But-
I'm
but-
not
but-
trying to be. I'm not trying to be a
But
contrarian. I'm not trying to
if we
whatever. I'm
talk
just saying
about how it's
factually.
not going to happen, and not talk about ways to make it happen, then we're not moving forward.
Right.
We're still standing still. Like
Totally
it's not
get
going
it.
to happen. They're going to suppress us.
So Pete, what if we do
That's right.
get
that's right.
together and get a certain amount of people who can be available between that 10 and 2 meeting? Someone who would be a voice for the community or speaking on behalf of people.
Okay, that I like that. Like have a representative that goes to the game.
Right.
Exactly.
Not all of us wasting our time going down there.
Of
Like
course
1,000 of us trying to waste our time.
Even
Of
if
course.
it's like
We're sending a
5, 10
representative
people. Yeah.
to hold our spot at the table to be like, oh, we was here, we heard you, but
Exactly, to
but-
bring that information back to
bring
the
us back
community
to us.
and allow each home to at least understand and then kick it back out. You're only gonna have X amount of people that are gonna be able to go. Now, I got my cousin from down south, and he agrees with you. He says,
knock
your
the,
vote
knock
don't,
the board over.
he says, your vote,
Yeah,
your
knock the
vote,
board over.
your vote don't count, and come up with your own game. And-
You gotta. This is the thing. I don't want to, because then there's always gonna be good people like Yvette, right? Who's always forward thinking. Like there's a reason why I'm up here. If you wasn't caring, forward thinking, you wouldn't open yourself up to have these type of conversations. But in that caring and that openness, you have a little bit of a love blinder on. You got
True.
like a love blinder on. You know what I'm saying? Where you
Yeah.
looking and you kind of
Love
see
goggles.
love. You see love where there's no love.
It's not
True.
beer goggles, it's love goggles.
Yeah, like love goggles, straight like that. Love goggles, where like you looking and it's like, yo, this is terrible, and she's gonna see like
Yeah.
the positive piece of it, and you do need that, right? But
Yeah,
to be
a
honest,
little balance, a
Yeah.
little bit, and I try to push it up in there because you know what?
Right.
If we don't have hope, why are
well,
the
no,
kids gonna,
and I'm never
how are
saying.
they gonna have hope?
Okay, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying don't have hope. I'm
No, I
saying
know.
don't put your hope towards something that's never gonna like.
But
You
when
can
you say
hope.
never, that's such a harsh word. When we
It's
have
a
our
real
young
word
kids.
though. No, but it's a real word to
we
them.
have to. I know, but that's
What
such
I
a
want them
harsh
to
thing.
okay, what I want them to think.
sorry.
What I'm trying to have them think, right, real quick. When I say never, what I'm trying to have them think is that not saying we're never gonna rise up. I'm saying we're never gonna rise up playing that particular game. That particular game
With
is
that
a no
set of
is a
rules.
no win.
Right.
It's a
Okay.
no win. It was built way before we got here,
Yeah.
and now we still like we play it because it's the same reason why it's 5-day work week and why
Yeah.
we work 8 hours a day and the thing
If we're
because
lucky.
that's an old
That's
old
not
model that was put
meticulous.
in, and then the internationally, however we connect with people when we do shipping and whatever, that's what we said we were gonna have. We said we were gonna have these days, and we're gonna have these 2 days off, or the one day, and the Sunday's supposed to be the Sabbath, and all of that. Even the words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that's all something that
Yeah.
we're working with. That's a game, right?
Michael says-
Does that mean that works though?
Well,
Because
no
no
you're-
company should have. Look at Friday, right? Friday, I work, right? Contrary to any, I got a job. Somebody hired me, right? And I'm out here because I gotta feed my, feed myself, take care of my responsibilities and stuff, right?
Right.
But like,
Okay.
I go to work Friday, right? There's nobody there, and even the people's there, they're not doing shit on a Friday. You know what that means? That 8 hours right there is just. We don't even need to be there.
Friday,
But the
you mean
reason
Good
why we
Friday
show up,
yesterday.
well, Good Friday happened to be Good Friday, but I'm saying
Okay.
any Friday. I show up to, we always do the little thing and we tally up and see like who came to work today, right? And people people do long weekends or whatever. But my point is, the work we do during the week could be done less than 40 hours. Absolutely. Like we don't need to be there.
That's true.
And it could be 4 days a week. And we should
That's
have
true.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Yeah.
But because it will throw off the model that's already in place, we would have to know what we were going to do before we brought that to the table. If you'd be like, okay, I only want to work 4 days a week, they're going to be like, oh, well, on Friday in Italy, they do this, and it corresponds with the 24 hours in Europe and thing. And like, it's a big, everything's interconnected. That's why we can't just pop up and do that. But in reality, there is nothing that takes. We don't need to be at work 8 hours for the day. Like there's 2 hours. Everyone knows. Everyone who works in the United States knows that there is 2 hours of that 8-hour day when you're not doing a damn thing.
Why are you gonna call
Well,
people
I'm not
out
gonna-
like that?
So yes, what were we gonna say?
Well, getting back to the voting, I think we can have the best of both worlds. I think there are people out there who want to vote and you probably should vote. And then there's people like me who's middle of the road. Some years I vote, some years I don't. Because I simply go by what I think is going to be best, who's going to be the best individual.
I never see them tally up the
Right.
people, because they say you can go vote. You don't have to vote for the Democrat or the Republican. You can vote for the other. You should have a box of where people was like for
But-
people like you should be able to vote and be like, nah, like neither one of them, and then tally that up and let me see those numbers. Yeah, let me see those numbers. The numbers where people went in and we didn't like neither one of those people. You know what I mean?
Hey,
And
it
if the
didn't
system,
show up.
and you gotta know the system is broken, right? Because you knew the system was broken when Obama got in, right? That was a break. Like, let's be honest. You were told, look at your whole life, right?
No, he found the loophole.
Right.
He
Your
found that
whole
loophole.
life, there was grown adults. From the time when you was a baby, there were grown adults that
Never believed.
knew for a fact in their lifetime they would never see a black president. They knew for a fact.
Wow.
And they didn't care about saying it in front of you too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
my
it wasn't a thing like Yvette, trying to take the hope away from us. It was just trying to keep it real with us. Like, yo,
Yeah.
listen,
I've
little
heard
man,
it. I've
yo, you
heard
will
it
never
multiple
ever
times.
in your
There will
lifetime.
never be a
So
black
don't ever let me see you think about talking about being the president, because even if you get there, what's the other thing? Bah! They're gonna blow your head off, right?
And we thought that would happen, and that didn't happen.
And that was the narrative that
Yeah.
was talking. But look at both of those things. It showed number one. So now white people, right, got shown. Not white people. Let me say conservative, like the right. Because I love, we're all kind of melting in so much right now that we all kind of have the same problems, and it's starting to be a class thing now, right? And that's coming more into it now.
Yeah.
The racism thing is trying to be whitewashed, for a better word, and it's trying to be replaced with classism, not racism, but classism. So if you have money, everything's good. If you don't have money, you down here with all those people that gotta struggle, right?
Fighting for
To
them
me,
crumbs.
that's what it's been. They just covered up the name of racism. You know what I mean? And basically made sure to use the different classes like that we are. Like, make sure, okay, they ain't gonna get out of this class, so we're not even gonna worry about the next levels. Okay, we'll let some people get to this next level, but after that, they're not gonna get any more shine, any more pull when it comes to how the government set up.
In America, a lot of white people were grandfathered in. They were grandfathered into
Exactly.
this thing that they didn't even fully want to be a part. Like, it's not, they don't want to put their foot on anybody else's neck.
With money, you died, right?
Right. But they're grandfathered in, like, just because of how the country was built, you know what I'm saying, on the backs of African Americans and Asians, right? You know what I mean? That's why you got to look towards Asians. That's who I look towards. That's who I look towards for, like, as far as our people. If we can't have Blacktown, if you can't collectively, get a space in, whatever, and call it Blacktown, then we're not talking about nothing. We're not talking about nothing. Chinese people, Asian people,
Yeah.
they talking about something. They got a Chinatown in every city, and they
But
hold
look
it
what
down
happened
out
in
there.
Tulsa. I mean,
What
we dropped the bomb on you. The Gap band. What was it? Black Wall
Well, let's
Street.
face
Right,
it.
right, right, right.
We're gonna always be a target because of the simple fact, the way the history is. But it still doesn't exempt us from still having. I mean, we are so brainwashed by society and this system that's around us until we can hardly believe that we can get beyond where we're at.
So that's what I say about
we
the
need
system.
to just
So-
elevate and not
so-
worry about what other cultures are doing. Although you could respect the
you look at a
Asian culture
blueprint. You gotta
because
look at a look
yeah,
at
like
something
the
to look
Asian
towards.
culture, I give so much respect for them because they don't put themselves out in the media.
No, they just be living.
You know what? They turn the dollar down around. They flip the dollar 18 times before it
yeah.
even goes outside their culture. we don't even flip the dollar once.
Yeah, it's
because
gone.
we're too busy buying Jordans and trying to look good, when in fact we should be trying to build, set up our own businesses, you know,
And the
have
few
our own
people that do have
communities,
the
and even have our
businesses-
own sovereignties.
The people who
Sovereignty
do have
is
the
a good word.
businesses, we ask for the discounts. Like, yo, you got a business, yo. Give me a discount.
Black business. When I was and I probably said this before. When I was growing up in the '80s, the corner stores
Right.
was both ways. You know, I lived in Four Corners. Both ways though. The corner stores was owned by black people. Like all I ever saw was black people in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as ownership, like that was a given. You know what I mean? And then like, you know, when you don't pay attention to what's going on, you know what I mean? As the time goes on, you know, it kind of changes over. Because now when you look at these stores, who's getting most of the stores now? Can anyone tell me?
Everybody but us.
Everyone but black people, if you want to be honest. It's not even like Spanish people. You know, you got a lot of the Middle Eastern people.
Yeah,
You know.
I was saying Asians.
Hmm.
The fact that you started to get into sovereignties, but it would be really, really interesting if, like, black people would get together and actually put their money behind even owning, like you were saying, a corner shop or a bodega. The fact that you said they were all black, I'm like, what?
You wouldn't
they
even
were
think that.
all, like,
You know what
Asian.
I mean? But like when I go back in my mind, I'm always thinking, I'm like, yo, like I never saw someone who didn't look like me behind the counter. You know what I mean? And it was a like real community type thing. Like back when you could back when like, you know, I'm like 7, 8 years old, you could go buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
back when shit was real out here. You know, mom dudes could send you to the store to buy some squares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like,
man.
but
Forget the note.
wasn't even giving me the money though. It was giving me a note. I
Yeah.
was going in with a note.
I
Yeah.
remember
You know what I'm
those
saying?
days.
Yo, I was going in with
You
a
got the
note.
note, like,
But that's
okay.
that community that was there, but that broke it up real quick. You know what I mean?
How did that happen? Not even how did it get broken up, but even further, like what you were saying about the sovereignties, like how did we not really establish like Blacktown in every little community, as opposed to, you know, we had that once and we got taken out and then we scattered and
Well,
no one
before-
wants to.
Before we
you know
even
what I
speak
mean?
on that, what is a sovereignty?
Well, sovereignty
To you.
can be looked
And
at
then
at
you.
two different ways. Some people look at it as having a solid community, and others look at it as having your own country. I like to see us have our own country.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it 100.
I like that.
Cause you know, with the Louisiana Purchase, I would have went for something like that, like just. Like you know what's but you know what's happening in California now? Right now in California, they're looking to separate themselves from the United States of America.
Really?
They want their own sovereignty.
Who
The state of
The
California.
state of California,
Really?
the citizens of California are looking to separate.
They trying to pull a Texas?
They trying to pull a Texas. But you know what? With the climate being the way it is, don't be surprised. Because Trumpism is really creating a divide, not just amongst white and black, but white and in every other race across America.
So now who do you believe? Like
So-
who do you believe out here?
So I believe in my people. Those are the ones that I grew up with. They're the ones that have given me the most truth.
I feel you.
If
But-
I reach out to media, then I'm not gonna get the truth unless I go to David Banner or Tariq, right? You know, a Tariq
Well-
Nasheed or
Well, let's
somebody
talk about
like
those
that.
people, right? Someone
Mm.
like Tariq Nasheed and David Bennett. Those are two people that I also follow, right? Because they
Yeah.
speak with a voice that kind of like similar to mine of what I'm
And
thinking.
what they're saying.
But
yeah.
if you look at their background, there is a whole like especially Tariq Nasheed. There's a whole slew of black people that do not subscribe to anything he says. They hate
Well,
they hate
let's-
him.
well,
They hate
let's-
him. Yeah.
Just know that everybody's not gonna like you. I mean,
Word.
Obama became president, but let's face it, everybody didn't like him.
I went to see
You know?
David Banner came to the
Right.
Strand Theater a couple of years ago. He had like he wasn't rapping or nothing. I'm like, okay, what's up with him? He was coming to talk about our situation, you know what I mean? And I went and I was really enlightened by, what he was saying. It was like really positive. But on the other end of that, I can also see and hear people saying like, people want you to do that without making a profit. You know what I mean? When you start making any type of profit, it starts bringing in that element of
Religion.
people start hating on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For your
I feel you.
But
I feel you.
I don't get bothered by that because at the end of the day, you're going to have your circle of people who's not going to agree with what you have to say.
Oh,
But if you get enough people behind you, it's really not going to make a difference.
right. So that's what they try to stop. They
Because
try to stop you
There
before
was,
you have enough
there was
people
a ton of
behind
people
you.
who stopped Obama. Not to say that I'm an Obama supporter, just getting that out there in the public. This is just a hypothetical situation. But let's just know a lot of people hated Obama, but Obama still got in office. And the same with Trump. It's not no different with Trump.
Which that's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
That's my point of saying that the game
At the
that
end
we're
of the
trying
day,
to play.
the numbers is not going to make a difference. At the end of the day, is whether or not you're going to have that seat.
Right. So that's what I was trying to say. How I said it was broke, right? Because if the game was the game the way you're supposed to play it, like just say voting in general, then the same way as all of our elders told us that we would never have a black president, it would have never happened. But the fact that it happened showed you that there was a loophole in there, right?
Right.
Now, once they saw that loophole, they did everything they could for the next eight years, because that's what certain white people do, right? I gotta say certain because there's so many allies out here that like really be more for black people than black people are. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I feel bad for them, you know what I'm saying, getting lumped in with like this MAGA hat Trump era, like pasty, nasty attitude, subpar educational white people that's so sad, right? But I gotta say it like that because so what I say about them, what I'm trying to say is just take rap for instance, right? It was brand new, it was whatever, it came with a whole bunch of slang, it came with a whole bunch of like whatever, and
style.
and there's a group of people that sat down and analyzed the hell out of it.
Yes.
That's all they could do and try to get ahead of it. So and there's a bunch of people who just do not like not being in control, and rap is something that you couldn't control. So they did everything they could in their power to investigate it, to try to figure out what we were saying.
Dolores Tucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name,
Yes.
and I had to stop myself right after I said the name, because you know the rest of the Tupac line.
Right.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
So I'm gonna pull up a song, Peace by Ant, and then maybe we can step out, take a picture real quick before I jet out. But I would love for you to come back because you sparked some interesting conversations in here.
I didn't even let her get into an Oprah thing because that's when we coming back. We gotta let her because we gotta talk about Oprah because like of all the things that happened this month, there's so much stuff that happened. I started at the Nipsey thing, but I didn't want to. It's so many things that are like pulling us in so many directions and splitting us apart. You go into this Michael Jackson documentary.
Yeah,
It's like,
but it's all put out there. So what's not
man.
put out there is what we need to look at.
Oh man.
But if we're gonna be consumed with what's out there, that's the game. So I'm just saying that my
It's a
cousin,
distraction at the
right?
end of the day.
Exactly.
all
It really is.
distractions.
So people from down south is just saying he's all part of the game. I don't know who you were talking to,
Obama.
but that okay, and so
Trump.
all of that. So I'm gonna put on it's a local artist. friend of Jono's. He's over here at this board again, and let's go.
I'm gonna take a break right quick and go take this pic. Well, I had some people that was on here watching. Nice. Nice.
How do you make sure that it doesn't go to another playlist?
Take this picture real fast.
We'll be back.
Shout out to my fam out in Kings, New York. That's Brooklyn where the women like drive a Porsche.
That's your people, Jono? Word. Your little cousin? From NY?
We're gonna do it in there.
What up there? Oh, we doing like a selfie?
Yeah, we'll do a selfie. We'll do a selfie real quick. Just a video, live video of the group. Let's go off. John. Just gonna,
Jono.
oh, I think I have it.
Perfect.
All right. Okay then. Here you go. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you. Forward to next time.
I already told her everything about you, and she got her. She's been trying to get off the ground, and I was like, oh, I got the perfect person.
Yeah, I like the digital magazine because I've been trying to do something with I'll see you shortly, right? Like to collectively take in like all these events and what's happening and put it in a centralized place.
She's just been looking for a home, so.
Oh, y'all aren't finished.
What up? I had some good people on here checking me out. I had some good people on here checking me out.
You did this on Facebook.
I did. That's what I was gonna tell you. The next time you could have went on your like Facebook.
I don't even have Facebook.
Oh, word. Oh, yeah.
All I got is Twitter.
Word.
So this was my water now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that ain't mine. I have one too. I know. Mine was off brand. Mine was off brand.
Yours is. I feel bad because that one. I've seen that one there.
Kiko Bang.
I've seen that one there.
We're in the house. We're in the house. Hey yo, Keith. I ran into my man. We back?
You back.
Word. Yeah, we back on. I'm trying to lighten the mood a little bit because we sound like we see. Yvette always be putting me in that thing to make it seem like I'm I'm complaining and being like mad, like negative. But I swear, I'm coming from a place of positivity when I say like, yo, fuck this shit. And so it's so positive when I say that. I mean like, yo, like knock this whole board over, bong, bong. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's like-
that's how you do it.
That's as positive. That's coming from that's love.
You know, like
That's love, baby.
Yeah, sometimes I think integration was the worst thing that ever happened to black people because
I'm sorry.
I mean
my
before
mom-
that we had it
my mom
all.
said that too.
We had everything. We were self-sufficient
Was in
people.
there going ham. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he was doing that
like
thing.
we have to continue. We have to go back to
We
the
was
old way
farming,
of doing
sowing.
things.
We farming, sowing. You know, building, whatever. Right now, right? Yo, you get a rip in your jacket. You couldn't probably find a black person to sew it up for you.
Yeah.
That like the amount of stuff that we just lost. Our levels of skill, our skill level. You know what I mean?
We lost a lot. But,
Near one of us can look up at the sky and tell you what time it is.
but
Where's
this
that
is the
guy?
thing, I honestly believe that we could turn this all around in
We
10
can.
years.
10 years, I
Yeah,
think, is a
10.
good amount of time.
10.
That you're right about that. That's like
I
say we
just think
flip the
that
board over.
We got to communicate. You know, we gotta get our own platforms, and like the David Banners and the Tariq Nasheeds of the world. They got their own platforms, and they're putting information out there. I can't even rock like a person like a Roland Martin, who's out there putting the politics down for the black people.
There's a lot of people. There's Dr. Boyce Watkins. He's talking
yeah.
about financial, empowerment. He's talking that stuff.
People got to start tuning into the right television and stop tuning into the idiot box that mainstream media is feeding y'all.
I know, but Love and Hip Hop is kind of fun to watch.
No, it's alright to do that sometime, but given the state that we're in, we need to start looking more to some more serious, things that's gonna help whatever community you're living in.
Drugs and television is not gonna. Once the drugs wear off and that TV show goes off, we right back in the mix. Drugs and television is not going to save us. It only distracts us for a little bit. And once that high comes down,
Make
and once
you feel good for a little while.
Yeah, once that show goes off and you step out your door, you in hell.
Don't you feel like that's drugs in the hip hop community regardless? Like, that's that, like, sports is a distraction to keep our mind off of what's going on in politics?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
They use like drugs in incarceration hand in hand to keep the black community.
It's the oldest thing in the book. Like back when they say, because say if they say the empire was Rome, right? Rome is supposed to be the blueprint for every big country. Was the thought about Rome, and they bring out and what they did. If you look in the books, they said they built the Colosseum. Why they building the Coliseum is like building a radio station. It's like building a sports arena. Basically, that's what they did. They built a sports arena to take your mind off of how much you were being taken advantage of. So you go there, you see a couple of horse races, a couple of fights. Right. You know what I'm saying? They throw you,
You said a couple of fights. You mean people limbs getting led to the slaughter.
Right. But then after you see that, it takes your mind off of what the real problem is. And the real problem is the king is coming in and taking all your land. He's taking all your stuff and whatever. And what they leave you is some entertainment. And we still in that little space right here. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said some entertainment.
What time is it? How much we got left?
It's just after 5. It is 5:04.
Oh shit, we got some time to talk.
Yeah. On this lovely Saturday evening,
That's beautiful. Let's have that let's have that Oprah talk real quick.
Wow.
Why not? You know why? Because that's something I didn't want to. That's something I didn't want to. When both of those documentaries came out, even though one doesn't have to do with the other, they're two totally different scenarios. But I didn't watch either one of them. The R. Kelly joint, or the Michael Jackson joint.
If none of us
because again, it's another distraction.
There was nothing to watch. Why is that out there? Like right now, there gotta be. You can't be silly and think in 2019 there's not a reason why they're trying to drop a R. Kelly doc and a Michael Jackson doc right after they sent Bill Cosby to jail. Like, you gotta understand that the game that we playing here, you know what I mean? It's a visual
dynamics,
game.
Y'all.
It's a visual game. It's
it's real out here.
It's about tapping into your emotions, and it's about distractions. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly, bro. All of that R. Kelly stuff was back when we had VCRs, right? And then right after all of that came out, is when Ignition and all of that dropped, right? You would think R. Kelly didn't have a career before Ignition. Like, past slow jams, that's what people knew, but when it was really on, you think of Ignition Remix and him rocking the Celtics jersey, like anybody, that's when you knew he was, taking off.
Yeah.
That was after the accusations and all of that stuff right there. So to come back and try to do this, it's nothing really to talk about like that. Aaliyah's gone. You got this dude here. Everyone went to court. Everyone got paid. The parents, all the families got whatever. Why are we talking about this right now? Absolutely, I know it's a distraction, but not trying to take away from what he did or what he's doing or whatever. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing. But we're not talking about like why are we talking about that right now when we getting the communities are getting gentrified, all of our rights are being taken away, but we trying to worry about this man. Like he's a non-factor right now. It's not even like he's dropping albums right now that we're copping and we're trying to like slow him down. He's really a non-factor in this movement of what we're doing. So why are we talking about him? And then the second thing, that Michael Jackson thing, soon as they told me that what these kids, I just heard the premise of it, and I'm like, okay, the premise is the people who went on stand and said that he didn't do anything got a documentary saying that he did something. I'm not watching that. That sounds great. That sounds bananas.
Here's the thing. They say like, right now, public opinion is the court.
That's it.
Like,
the court of public
these
opinion.
celebrities are being tried. They're being put in jail.
Through the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and
Not
it's
the facts.
crazy.
So even
What happened to a judge and a jury?
right, and then even past that, even if the judge and the jury finds you innocent, because you were convicted in the court of public, you're tainted for life, right? So like, let me say this. So let me just say this thing about Michael Jackson, right? That's like that's definitely one of our heroes. We already knew from the gate Mike was weird as all hell. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the first people to even their body. He got the nose surgery. You know what I'm saying? Because remember young Mike had the nose, you know what I'm saying? He had the nose and the afro. You know what I'm saying? But you think about it, if you ever seen Little Mike, like little Mike, when he was with the group, and he used to be like, used to be like New Year's Eve or whatever, he used to go down, and they used to have Mike come out there singing with the little suit on and whatever, like that, he was cold. Right. That dude was cold-blooded, like, you know what I mean, as far as talent-wise and just being, like, on point, you have to sacrifice a lot to do that. So one of the things I can obviously tell is that he sacrificed his childhood. You know what I mean? Okay, and then you top that off with having, being the little brother. You know what I'm saying? You're already about to be alienated again. You know what I'm saying? And then all this stuff goes on. And I'm like, it's crazy. But just to come out with a whole special while he's passed away. Yeah. With people desecrate, like you said, in the public opinion.
Yeah, wait a minute. My question is, how is it that they're going after a dead man when we got pedophiles roaming all over this earth? I mean, high-profile pedophiles, alive and well, running the face of the earth, and you're worried about a dead man?
A few years.
And to allow public opinion, such as Oprah and all these other high-profile celebrities, to decide who's guilty or not guilty.
Like
Again, what happened to the judge and jury?
Like
Why is Oprah being the person to make the decision on whether Michael Jackson is guilty or not? Same thing with Dan Reed. How is it that you could put out a movie, because that's what it is, a movie.
Right, it's supposed to be a documentary. But where's the fact? Any fact checking going on?
There's so many holes in that movie until they should have probably never even put it out, or at least said that it was a movie.
So everybody knows that it shouldn't have. Let's say it was this script is a script. It's a loosely based whatever. But you try to pass that off as facts during the time when we can all do fact checking.
Here's the thing. When Oprah decided to say the things that she said, she put the collective black back 100 years. And that's no lie.
And I felt that when she said that to me, and I was like, oh, you know what?
That hurt us in ways untold.
And I felt that way, and that's why I wanted to explain it some more, but go ahead.
Here's the thing. Anytime any of our heroes have passed away, they have tarnished their their reputation in some shape or form. And they're doing it and they're repeating it again with Michael Jackson and the R. Kellys of the world and, you know, any other person that they decide to go after. They're doing Nipsey the same. They're trying to do Nipsey the same way.
Trying to dig up dirt on Nipsey.
You know, they're doing, yeah, when they're saying that, oh, you know, they put that guy that was with him in jail.
Yeah.
I think he's out now, but they put him in jail, right? Because they said that he was a gangbanger.
He was on parole or something, just got out. Nipsey was.
Here's the problem with that, though. The problem with that is Nipsey was doing a lot of good things. So whether he was a gangbanger or not, what difference does it make if he's out here doing good?
Absolutely.
And but they're tarnishing, but they're saying, oh, gangbanger. Why couldn't they say in the media, oh, the gentleman got shot with Nipsey Hussle and kept it at that? Why did they have to add the gangbanger?
There's
title
always gonna
to
be
it?
that sauce. That's what I'm saying. That
You
was
know,
that, and that was.
And
the,
that's another way. It's just another slight.
and I can't believe Oprah came and put
that.
sauce. I can't believe Oprah came and put sauce.
And I have a great deal of respect for how Oprah does business, but that's a problem when you're doing things. You know, it's like if I went after her legacy.
So exactly.
I would never do that.
See how she's a hero in our community, like the way we think about her or whatever.
You can't
So now,
slight the heroes of your culture.
and you
because-
can't.
I feel you.
And how is she doing that documentary on Mike, right? And you are and your whole company is through Harvey Weinstein, who has all these allegations, right? And that's why you're not going to touch him. But then that takes away from some of your credibility.
Yeah.
And then also I was saying about that is they desecrate our like our black heroes, right, when they're in the grave, but they don't do theirs. Like, because it's on record that Elvis Presley, you know, got with you know, Priscilla or whatever when she was 14. She was 14. It's on record. They got married. Regardless if they got married or not, that's the same thing they tried to say about R. Kelly. He got married, right? So you should leave it alone, right? I guess because you left it alone with Elvis. Now, I don't see them coming back and doing this wild expose about, because you think that was the first young girl he ever seen and was like, oh, this is the one right here and I'm about to like whatever. I'm sure he had a little bit of practice before that, and I'm sure that was okay. In the, you know, times were a little different.
I'm still like,
But are they going
we-
out of their way to do like some type of Sundance film festival about the, you know, the king of pop or king of rock or whatever it is?
I feel you.
Leaving
You know what I mean?
Graceland.
Yeah, are they like, yeah, right, leaving Graceland. Right, I don't see her leaving
It's
Graceland.
because he's still alive and retired in Hawaii.
Fact is, we got a lot of things going on right here on Earth. We don't need to be worrying about any of these dead men
Digging people
or
up.
women,
but-
for that fact.
Right.
That's true. That's
You know?
true. But I mean,
Why are
what
we desecrating
legacy
dead
they
people
had-
when we got people right here on Earth that needs to be put out on Front Street?
See, and that's the thing. When it comes to whatever legacy they had, or what you guys, like Jay's great at doing, like what you're talking about, putting some people out on Front Street, calling out the people who say we ain't together, who say we not supposed to be doing this, and line them up, and we take our stand like, yo, this is how we're doing this.
Well,
How do we make that separation, make that cut, like
through platforms like this. You know, plain and simple. You know, the more you get the word out there, I think that people will start to realize who they are as a person and make some tough decisions, whether they want to do what's right or sell out. Call a spade a spade. You know,
I mean, wow.
truth
Jeez.
hurts, but truth matters.
And like the easiest thing to do is not do anything. You know what I mean? Not doing anything about it is just It's an easier way to get through. You know what I mean? But we can't take the easy route and expect it to be good for anybody, you know, that comes after us. And the reason why we even here able to talk on this microphone and do things like this is because people before us didn't take the easy route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They took a couple of
You
boots.
hit the
They
nail
took
right on the head, my friend.
they took a couple of boots to the head. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And now look at now we here and I'm able to just articulate, you know, spread like, you know, do what I want to do. And I say that to my peoples all the time because they be sometimes, you know, be like, yo, you gotta like, you know, play the game and you gotta whatever.
Yeah,
But I'm like, yo, if the people, what if Malcolm was like, nah, I'm straight. What if Martin was like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm gonna go get this little job at, you know, whatever, and I'm gonna let them figure this out on their own. Like
We'd
all
still
that.
be in Jim Crow if
Yeah.
that was the case.
All of that, you know, I've been to the mountaintop, you know, blah, blah, blah. What if that was just like, he just was like about to write it, and he was like, you know what? Nah. He just threw the pen. You know what? I'm gonna just go see I'm gonna see what my man's doing today. And we gonna,
right there. Like,
yeah, we gonna go get some corn liquor. We're gonna get some, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some
You know a lot of people doing that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
you know?
yo, we're gonna go
But
to
you
my
need
man's
to
spot.
stop it.
We're gonna go to my man's spot with
Or
the
get your corn liquor
bathtub
after.
brew.
Yeah,
You know, we're gonna
yeah.
get some bathtub liquor and we're gonna just party for tonight. And you know what I mean? We just gonna play the game, man. We just gonna wake up tomorrow,
Yeah,
go to
like
the
that.
spot. Yes, sir. Yes, whatever you have. Yes, master. Whatever, and keep it pushing. Somebody gotta be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And just imagine if they was like, nah, I'm good. We're the so when I see people telling me to almost say like just to be like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I'm thinking about the people that's like 50 years. And then when I say 50 years, that's a sad number, right? Because these people only been dead for like 50 years. Now it's probably going on like 60. So the people who pulled the trigger might still be here with us. You know what I'm saying? You don't think we gotta fight? You don't think we gotta fight to fight right now? You think it's time to be like, yo, nah, man, we just gotta stay out the way. Like, what if Malcolm and Martin just stayed out the way, yo? What if Marcus Garvey and all these people just was like, you know what? Instead of trying to lead people and I'm talking about all that back to Africa talk, that sparked the brain of, because even if we didn't go back to Africa, mentally we did. And it sparked some people to start digging into their roots and digging into whatever. But what if he just went to the juke joint? You know what I'm saying? It said, yo, we just gonna roll up a couple of, you know what I mean? Go to the juke joint and do it all over tomorrow and just like whatever.
Fun party.
We gotta stand up. We gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be the next Malcolm X,
Not
but
at all.
if you have your dream of like starting your own business, then go do that. You know?
That's it. That's standing up.
If your dream is to be in corporate, then do that. You know, it's not over till it's over, until you get your last breath.
Exactly.
So,
Believe in
you know,
yourself.
do something that's gonna benefit you and your community and the people around you.
And you don't have to do it, but what I believe you have to do is if you see someone else standing up, ready to take that pressure, you gotta support them.
Yeah.
In whatever way they ask. You know what I'm saying? Whatever way you can. Even if they don't ask, whatever way you can, you should support them silently. I know a lot of people that don't do, you're not going to see them on the front page. You're not going to see them leading the charge. But behind the scenes, they're doing a lot of funding, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they can do, you know what I'm saying?
True.
They might not want everybody to know, you know what I'm saying, what it is they got going on, like, you know what I'm saying? But what they can do is they're going to get whatever they can, they're going to do it. If you're not thinking like that, you might as well just be the enemy. You might as well just be the enemy. You might as well just pick up the gun and come do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You an infiltrator. You almost like an infiltrator. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Silence is a cosign. They say that now, right? And that's real. Silence is a cosign.
true.
Like, and they kind of use that more towards like street type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, sort of, but
I see it in the fact that people are being so polarized nowadays. They're noticing like, oh, I can't just be quiet about this. I have to pick a side, so to say. So some people are learning to at least gravitate to one side or another.
Yeah, riding the fence is always just gonna be. That's so cheap.
Unfortunately,
You know what I'm saying?
unfortunately, people are gonna eventually have to pick a side because here's the thing, like, people are not gonna keep watching their babies get shot and not retaliate.
And that's what
I mean, it's just a matter of time before someone is gonna say enough is enough,
right.
and they're gonna pull the trigger,
Like,
and it's gonna set off something that we're not gonna be. It's like an animal being trapped in a corner, right? The animal's gonna keep fighting, but if its little family sees that it's struggling, they're gonna come.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
and other
that's
animals
the
too.
comparison that I make is like, okay, you shot this one down, the cop shot that one down, another cop in XYZ shot this person down. I mean,
we can't. It's not gonna keep.
it's not
going
even
for
a
it
thing
like
that we can't just not do anything. People
Well-
are gonna eventually say, look, I mean, let's face it, we're in a psychological war now.